Hey guys, it's Vin and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Sorry if you can hear the echo. My baby's watching TV in the other room, so I wanted to do the intro in here. But today I'm going to be reading some Am I the A-hole threads on the Reddit posts. I don't know if that made sense. I'm still half asleep. Hello. Anyways, I want to be as shocked as you, but I don't have a second device to read them off of at the same time. So I think I'm going to say the title and give my opinion then, and then write it down, and then come back and read it, if that makes sense. And then give my opinion after I have all the information. I think that's the best way to do it. I think I'm gonna do 3. I might do 4, but probably closer to 3. And yeah, I would love to hear your opinions as well. So let's get into it. Okay, this one is titled, Am I the Asshole for telling my friend she's in the same league as men she calls ugly? And unless you genuinely think those guys are cute, or you're not a good friend, probably. Let's get into it. Okay, let's get into this story. My friend, 19 female, he discovered a toy that makes noise. My friend, 19 female, downloaded dating apps like Tinder and Hinge for the first time about a week ago. For reference, she's the type that always says she wants a boyfriend, wants to do a couple things, feels lonely, single, etc. She's also, in my opinion, very normal and average looks-wise. Not ugly, not super hot, just all right. Since then, she's been complaining to me that almost all the men there are ugly, short, etc., and that she doesn't match with anyone hot. I asked to see which people she's calling ugly, and she showed me her likes, and it mostly showed people perfectly in her league, as in moderately attractive guys. I told her that these guys were all in her league and she should give some of them a chance, since she's always complaining about wanting to be in a relationship. She denied she's in the same league as them and said that she's much more attractive than them. I pointed out that, in her own words, she doesn't match with anyone she finds attractive, so she's not in their league. She said I was an asshole. Am I? Well, first of all, are you really friends? Because I feel like all my friends, even if they're kind of ugly in real life, once I'm their friend, they're like 10 times prettier, okay? You couldn't tell me my friend was ugly. I don't think so. Maybe that's just me. So I don't know that you're perfectly friends. But also, everyone has their own opinion on how people look. Like me personally, I think I'm kind of ugly most of the time. I'm very average looking. I wouldn't call myself beautiful, but yeah, you find hot people hot. Why wouldn't you, right? So, I think the person is kind of an asshole, because that's not something you say to your friend. Yeah, she could have said, hey, you know what? I know you really want a relationship. Try one of these. Go on a date. Go on a date with one of your matches, and he may not be the cutest thing in the world, but maybe he's got a great personality and you'll fall in love. Maybe. That could have been said without saying that she was average looking and not attractive or hot like she wants to think. The person responded saying that they could be the asshole because they overstepped their boundaries. But you know what? I think it's just the way it was worded. Like, you didn't have to put in the fact that she was in the same league as the men she's saying are ugly, especially if it's your friend and she is saying they are ugly and you're like, they're in your league. What do you mean? I just told you he was butt ugly. You're saying I'm butt ugly? could have left that out, I think. Personally, I would have left that out. I think definitely encouraging to go on a date with someone she finds ugly or, you know, less attractive would be fine without saying you're in the same league as the people you're calling ugly. So that's how I feel about that one. Let me know your opinion, and let's see what the next one is. Am I the asshole for letting my boyfriend tell a friend to find her own ride home from the beach? Now, let's see. I think unless you were her ride there and you were together all the time, the whole way, which I doubt is the case, if you all went to the beach together and they're expecting you to give them a ride home because you picked them up and brought them to the beach, then you're the asshole. But let's see where this story ends up. Okay. Took a friend to the beach after she's been begging to go. She brought no money, ate our food, drank my alcohol, then disappeared to make out with 2 random guys. We stopped our day to look for her, made eye contact, and got ignored. She has a pattern of flaking, mooching, and crossing boundaries, like commenting on my looks, smacking my butt, and getting upset when I didn't want her sleeping in my bed. My boyfriend always has been uncomfortable with how clingy she is with me. Hold on, baby. When she finally showed back up, he told her she could ride with the guy she was with since she clearly wasn't with us, and she started crying. He still told her she could ride back with us, but it's not fair for her to disappear and treat us like a free ride. She chose to leave and turned her location off. Now she's acting like we abandoned her. Am I the asshole, or we, rather? Are we the asshole? Well, first of all, let me start with, she's been begging to go to the beach, right? You're like, yes, let's go, right? Did you tell her to bring money or food? Did you tell her you were bringing money or food? Like, yo, I'm bringing sandwiches, you bring the drinks, something. That's a communication error, I think. Okay, you're a couple bringing your friend. She's going to want to not be a third wheel the entire time. That makes sense to me, especially if she has a pattern of flaking, in your opinion. I don't know the situation, obviously. So, anyways, commenting on my looks, I think that's just something friends do. If it really hurt your feelings, you shouldn't be her friend. If you really believe it, you shouldn't be this person's friend. Smacking the butt, I think, is something I do with my friends, so I can say that's weird. And I think if we were having a sleepover and I couldn't sleep in your bed, why? Are you a freak? Are you into me or something? What? Why can't I sleep in the same bed? We're having a sleepover. Okay? Personal opinion, I don't think that's weird. I think she was just adding things to make the friend seem crazy. All right, here we go. When your boyfriend decided that he was deciding to be an asshole to her and say, go ride with those guys since you want to ignore us, you should have been like, don't talk to her. And then you said it. I think you should not have let some random boyfriend say anything to your friend ever. You're not married. He clearly doesn't like her already. She probably feels it, and that's probably why she didn't want to be around you guys. I would not have let my boyfriend talk to my friend like that. The person replied, I'm wondering if I was wrong for not stepping in or comforting her when she started crying. You were. When he said that, I would have been like, shut the fuck up. That's my friend. I don't know who you are. That's my friend. Or at least been like, I mean, he's right, but he shouldn't have said it like that. Okay. And when she started crying, you should have gave her a hug and be like, you know what, that was dramatic. Don't be her friend then. Don't be her friend if you don't like the person she is. Mooching and clingy and... what else did it say? Flaky, crossing boundaries. If you don't like that as your friend, don't be her friend. But do not let your mans talk to her. Because she was your friend before he was your boyfriend, I'm sure. Okay? Personal opinion. And I'm glad that he said, yeah, we'll still give you a ride, but it wasn't fair, but it wasn't his place to say. You should have been like, no, we're giving you a ride back home. Let's go. Let's get in the car. And if it was really a problem, I'm sure she had a phone. You should have texted her, hey, we're going to leave soon. Can you come back? It would have been that easy. And if she wanted to get a ride back, she would have came. That's my opinion. All right, on to the last one for the day. Okay, we're going to go with one I have no right to be judging. It is titled, Am I the Asshole? ... No college allowance. Now, I did not go to college. I did not finish high school. I know college is expensive, but I also know that a lot of people work through college to support the things they need. And college is the struggle bus years, as told by TV, where you eat ramen for days and survive. Okay, if you can eat a peanut butter and jelly, you're living. Okay, that's what I know about college from TV. You struggle, you probably work for some money, and maybe there's a party or two, I don't know. So let's get into this story. Okay, I have some opinions. Let's get into it. My son is going to college next year in an expensive city, and I want him to have a very healthy allowance, as I believe he will have enough things to worry about without adding finance or the need for a job to the list. That said, I've told him I won't give him any money unless he first gets an allowance raise from his mom, my ex-wife. She's unwilling to change his allowance, so this has created a rift in their relationship, and they aren't currently talking. My logic is I give her $2,000 a month for child support. All she pays for is his cell phone bill and his allowance for college. I'm paying his tuition, housing, food. Hold on. No, leave the doggy alone. Sorry. Doggy. Yeah, doggy. Be nice to the doggy, okay? Okay. I'm paying for his tuition, housing, food, books, car, and insurance. She says she needs to keep $1,500 to $1,750 a month and will give him, why'd I put 25? $250 to $500 a month, but won't tell him what she's spending that money on. And it seems clear that it's covering her personal expenses, not his. It seems he should get at least half as allowance. Hold on. Sorry. It seems as though he should only get half as his allowance. At least get half. Oh my gosh. My baby is distracting me. Sorry. It seems he should get at least half of his allowance. He's moving 300 plus miles away. I feel bad for creating stress between my son and his mom, but it seems crazy that she wants me to give him an allowance when I'm already paying for almost everything, and I give her such a healthy child support payment. I feel like she's simply embezzling from him. The first question I would ask, is he your only son with her? Is he the only one you're paying child support for? Because that money goes for all the children, okay? Not just the one. Let's start there, okay? 2, child support's supposed to stop at 18. You should be paid off by 18. Maybe they changed it to 21 now, but still, it's supposed to be stopping, to my knowledge, at 18. That's what I was told when I was growing up. And my dad had to keep paying because he missed so much. He was so behind that he was still paying when I was like 25, okay? Hi, baby. So, to my knowledge, as long as you're on time, they're supposed to stop before 21, okay? By college time, you should really not be getting child support. I don't know. $2,000 a month seems like a lot. I think it depends on how much you work, but my sister, her dad paid maybe $600 a month when he was working really good. For one person, $600 a month, that ain't shit. Okay, everything is so expensive. That's supposed to cover the roof over his head, all the freaking electric and gas and food and all that is what you're paying child support for. Every piece of clothing they want. It never covers enough, okay? It never does. I don't know why, but it's never enough. Okay? Okay? That's where I'm at. Second of all, why would you get in between them? Why can't you contact her and say, hey, could you please give this money to our son? Or go to court. I think he should go to court. Take her to court and say, hey, I'm paying child support only for this kid. Okay, if that's the case. Only for this kid. And I think he deserves at least half because he's moving across state lines. Like, he's miles and miles, 300 plus miles away. He needs this money for our college. Okay. Hi, baby. And then I would tell the judge, all this and all that. But I don't think you should have put your kid in the middle. And I don't think it was right to cause a rift in between them because, hold on. Why would she tell you what she's spending the money on? That's not your business. It's not the kid's business either. If she has an expensive habit of like shoes or clothes and purses, maybe he would know what she's spending the money on. But it's likely rent and bills because no one ever makes enough. And depending on how big a house she lives in, that could be her freaking monthly payment, okay? Because I lived in a freaking 4-bedroom that was kind of crappy, and it was almost $1,500 a month. Plus utilities. Like, you got to think of that, okay? Now. He said, I gave my son an ultimatum. You didn't mention there was an ultimatum, okay? I don't know what that is. And it created a rift between him and his mom. Yeah, what was the ultimatum? Get a raise or allowance raise or don't get nothing? If you're saying in order to get an allowance, you have to get it from your mom, then you should have said that to him. He should have made, if he knew, hey, mom has to give me an allowance. If I want an allowance, if I can get an allowance, I have to get it from mom. That could have been the thought in his head instead of, I want you to have a healthy allowance. Okay, cough up the money. Personal opinion, all talk, no game. Yeah, you're paying for everything else. Then you shouldn't have said, I want you to have. You should have said, hey, I feel like you need an allowance. You should talk to your mom. $250 a month is not a lot, but $500 a month, if everything else is paid for, it said his housing, his food, books, car, $500 a month should be fine. What else are you buying? If your food is covered, what, gas? Gas money then? Your housing is covered, your tuition is covered, your food is covered, your books are covered. $250 to $500 won't be that bad, okay? Things are expensive, but you already have food, shelter, car. What do you need? Gas? I doubt you're spending $500 a month on gas. I don't know. This one gets me because there's a lot of factors being left out here. So, that's my opinion, and that's it for today's video. Let me know all of your opinions, please, down below. I don't know how I feel about that last one, man. It just kind of irks me for some reason. Hi, baby. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's mommy. I will see you next time with a new video. Don't forget to subscribe. Also have a family channel link below you should also check out. I love you, and thanks for watching. What do you think? Were they assholes? Did you agree with me? What were your thoughts? I want to know. Let's talk it out in the comments.